DJ Ferris.
It's Chicago, nigga.
It's the real one.
Hit me.
Only one is pulling shit the fuck up.
Good sports talk.
Was kind enough to take off the glasses. I was going to ask you about copyright infringement because when you were rocking the lenses and the headphones, I'm like, all right, there you go. Except you have hair, so that's
yes.
We've already got the logo copyrighted. Article on The Athletic that I want to ask you about the Warriors, and this is a team who for the past however many years had been in the mix for titles. And when this season shut down, I mean, Steve Kerr, when I talked to him, he's pretty frank. Like, mentally, they were done, and they were fine if they didn't have to come back. How do they benefit, Ethan, from not having to go back and kind of recalibrate in a way very few teams that hit the reset button do?
Well, maybe it has something to do with how players improve. We think that they might improve through chemistry and those pickup games down in Los Angeles. That's how we like to think about it. But in the specialized sports world we have today and what we've seen with European soccer academies, it's really about the individualized skill. It's really about getting in the gym. One thing to worry about, though, if we're talking about the Warriors, is this financial calamity that we're seeing currently. You think about a team like Golden State, a team that has $130 million committed to their top 5 guys, their starting unit. It's quite the pinch. It is quite the pinch to suddenly not get any of that gate revenue in that snazzy arena down there. So that is one thing that is not going to benefit the Warriors and probably some other teams that are dependent on gate revenue.
But I'm just looking at the big picture of teams that are terrible, and then they're going to be in the lottery. Like, they don't have the benefit. I get that they've got sunk costs here, and no one's going to cry for them, but at least you're spending money on people you know are good and have shown you what they are. As they look collectively at the future, you said hit the ground running. Is there a sense that if they get the right guy, that they could be sort of back in the mix next year, presuming next year happens?
Here's how I think about it, Scott. I think it's almost like they do not have enough right now. The Warriors, as presently constituted, I know that's...
They most definitely don't have enough. Andrew Wiggins, he's a solid player, but he is inconsistent. Steph and Clay been hurt. Once they healthy, they going to be a better team from last year. They were just missing their 2 main guys this season. Yes, Curry came back, played I think one or 2 games, but he wasn't the same when he came back because he had that injury that held him out most of the whole year. So when you had them 2 back in the start lineup together, they'd be another good solid team. I feel like they'd get back to the playoff with them 2 healthy, but they ain't gonna be the same team for 5 years ago or 2 years ago. Like, they need some more weapons. Like they had the time they was winning the championships. They need that type weapon on their team again. Yes, Pascal is he's a good player. He's gonna be a good role player for them. Wiggins gonna be a good role player for them. But whoever they draft this year, you gotta see how he's gonna turn out, how he's going to benefit and play alongside Draymond, Clay, and Curry. But they not going to be the same team from years ago. They don't have enough right now. But once they get some more weapons on their team like they had on the championship run, then you can see them back in contention mode. But they going to be a playoff team this upcoming season. I feel like they going to get back to that. But as far as that, they ain't going to be in a contention no time soon.
I won't say it too loud. Some of my neighbors in Oakland might hear me. I don't think they have enough right now, but maybe like in poker, you hit a card on the river. The Warriors need to hit a card on the river, whether that's their draft pick upcoming. They're going to get a top 5 pick in the upcoming NBA draft, should it ever happen. They have a draft pick from the Minnesota Timberwolves, regularly terrible team, in the next draft, which should be a great draft. They need to get lucky on that or swing a trade for the perfect veteran. If they do that, they get back in the mix. But as presently constituted, I don't think they have enough.
I mentioned on the way in, there was an article in The Athletic I read on the way out, Victory Machine, the book that you wrote. As you think back at what you got to cover and who that group was, what do you find most interesting about the Victory Machine, about that group?
Well, first of all, Victory Machine, it's a quarantine dream, folks. Order it today on Amazon. Leave me a review. Let me get that plug in there really quickly.
Of course.
I think what I learned is that a lot of the ambition that allows you to have success is indivisible from what fractures that particular success. And with NBA teams, Scott, it seems like they end too early. That's what fascinates us about them. We don't talk about Shaq and Kobe playing so well together. We talk about the human drama and how the ego that fuels them winning those championships ends up undermining it. Same thing with the Warriors.
That's the same thing with them. Once you win those championships back to back, everyone have egos. They might don't show you, but it's there. They gonna eventually collide. As most dynasties do. They collide. Because their ego in their head get big. A steady this hitting the ground running. And say, oh, we just won some more championships. Let's continue doing that. But everyone gonna feel like this is my team. And then someone is gonna feel like, no, that's not your team. And it's so much that's going on behind closed doors that you don't know about. That what happened to the Warriors of that collision that Draymond and KD had. And how KD felt when he was with the Warriors. He felt like an outsider. He felt like he wasn't really part of this team like that. So you could tell how everything was for real. On the court, it's a different situation. But when they're off the court, you know something going on. But when you have someone that felt like he was out of place, you know it was going to be eventually they're going to break apart. That's what most dynasty does. Because their ego get too high. And they don't never see the big picture no more. They just see it as, I'm the reason that we winning this. I'm the leader of this team. But it happens, you know. And that happened with the Warriors.
All of that ambition, all of that wanting to crush everybody eventually makes it a little bit unstable in the way we never saw with that San Antonio Spurs team. So ultimate dominance eventually leads to fracture. But man, it's a hell of a ride on the way to that.
Yeah, it makes you understand.
Because people understand. The Spurs understand. They have players that sacrifice things. That's why they dynasty work. Because people understand their roles. People understand what they want to do. They understand what they want to win. And that was championship. Manu Ginobili, he was really a starter. But he showcased, I could come out the bench. I take less. I don't mind being a weapon. I don't mind not being in the lineup. They have players on the bench that know the roles, they know the sacrifice, they want to win championships. And that's why that team be able to win 5 championships together. Because they understand the sacrifice. They understand what it is at the end of that movie. Not saying that Warriors didn't understand that. They were just all still young. Everyone, they just now turned 30. Like, so, that's still young. It was just so much there when you see the media put everyone attention on KD like they did. Like, they put everything, they laid back KD. You know someone gonna feel some type of way. They've been there. They won the championship before KD got there. And then you see the media portray it as, this is his team. And then everyone that was on that championship run before he got there, go feel some type of way about that. You can really blame it on the media. Because how they portray everything.
Why the last dance was the last dance, whether it made any sense to us then or even now looking back. Ethan, thanks, man. You're really good at what you do. Continue to enjoy all the stuff I read that you write. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for having me, Scott.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube.